We should be live now. Yeah, but I don't see nothing on my damn page. Oh, there we go. Start sharing this. If you go on my page, you can share it on your page. Good evening. Good evening. We're gonna start the show.
That power is merely an attempt of equality of dignity, an equality of character, an equality of recognition by non-blacks of our negritude. Black power means the saving grace of our United States. The United States no longer is an isolated nation. We're living in a world in which the United States and all of Anglo-Saxon society is in a definite minority. The boast of the black and brown people of the United Nations could turn the United States foreign program upside down in one day. You're in a minority. The soul brothers and the soul sisters, they're in the majority, man.
Welcome everybody. Welcome. Good evening, Atif. Good evening, Donna. Good evening, Cookie. Good evening, Michael. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Black Law Enforcement Unplugged. And we give law enforcement. Yes, we are live. We are live. We give law enforcement with a black point of view, and we talk about issues that affect all communities, but especially communities of color. And I got my brother from another mother. I got my neighbor up here in the big W of Wallkill, Middletown, Orange County. He's a retired. What rank were you, brother, when you retired? What rank were you?
I was a correction officer.
Okay, he's a retired correction officer from Rikers Island, and he is the president of the New York City Guardians, correction officers, guardians of New York City corrections. And I've known this brother for many years, and we was on the battlefront. And I was talking to him today, everybody, and we were discussing the issues with this coronavirus in the jail facilities. And I know there's been a little talk what's going on in the jail facility. So we thought we're going to have a good talk about how the correction officers are treated, how the inmates are treated, especially in New York City. And we're going to talk about some solutions, and we're going to talk about what needs to be done. Brother Vincent, man, welcome to the show. I'm glad that you're here, man, and so we can have this conversation. So let's start off. How are the correction officers at Rikers Island? How are they being treated? Are they getting the proper protections? Are they following any type of protocols for safety?
So far from what we get in, there's a lot of inconsistencies as far as what these guys and ladies are being able to bring in a facility and accept it as their own personal PE. I received a lot of calls within this week and last week that they weren't receiving adequate PPE. In addition to that, I mean, sadly, that the unions had to sue the city to force the city to provide adequate PPE and adequate sanitizing of the facilities, and the judge ordered it. And it seems like immediately after the judge ordered, the city appealed it. And to me, that's insane. Why would you appeal having to provide adequate PPE and sanitizing facility against the service that's reporting to duty every day? I mean, to me, it's just it's still insane that everybody's safety is of a concern, including the inmate population. You're releasing inmates who have pre-existing medical conditions, preventing them from being exposed to COVID-19. I get it. But you won't supply your members adequate PPE to go work inside those areas where these guys are exposed. It just doesn't make sense. So you're saying, come to work sick, come here without your mask, come here without your gloves, be exposed. Come back to work, even though you still have a temperature, a fever. I mean, it just doesn't make sense. And the question is, why?
Right.
I mean, it just seems that, to me, I look at it like this, the same way they treat us in our community, the same way they treat us at work. Here's an agency where the majority of the member of service consists of Black and brown people marginalized by while our other first responders from other agencies, where the majority may be white. And it's just a big difference on how the member of service in that agency is treated. And I don't think people don't even look at the big picture when it comes to, let's even step aside from the pandemic. People don't look at the big picture when it comes to how we dealt with overall, period. From an officer to a captain, to assistant deputy warden, up to the rank of a warden. And we know that as you move up in rank, things change. You can't do what you did as an officer when you move up to become a boss, and we get that. But the way, even how the managers are handled by the upper management, pretty much tells the story. But now we have a pandemic, and the one time that the city of New York and the department would have an opportunity to step up and do the right thing for their members, you fell.
Right.
And people are upset. I mean, I know a lot of people. We've lost a lot of officers and a captain within the last week and a half. Today is Wednesday. Monday and Tuesday was a bad day, a very bad day. We know them; they're our friends. We work with them. Very good people. We also have family members who are ill.
Right.
Same people who are reporting for work every day. I mean, they're taking this home to their kids. There is a big concern. I mean,
Vince, let me ask you a question. So right now, as far as it's being reported, Rikers Island is the only correctional facility in New York State that have lost officers to the coronavirus.
You wouldn't know because unless you read the newspaper, because there's nothing. There's a media briefing every day in the morning time and around noon with the mayor and the governor's office. You didn't hear anything about it. You only see what's happening with the other first responders.
Right, and Cuomo has never mentioned it either. That correctional officers.
I watched. Following New York City and New York State have their media briefings. Then you have New Jersey. The governor of New Jersey has his briefing, and when he has his briefing, he mentions the breakdown of all the agencies, and he also mentions the correctional staff in New Jersey State, not New York. Not New York. Today on the media briefing, they asked the mayor a question in regards to the disparity as far as the the COVID exposure in the Black and brown community and the type of medical treatment that's being provided. And one of the questions was directed in reference to New York City corrections. The answer was a blanket, nonchalant response. No numbers, no nothing. Sadly, but I mean, I think people need to take a bigger look at this picture. There's a bigger picture here, and I think what they do is they have our minds trapped looking in one direction instead of the direction as it heads from City Hall to Albany. And these are the people that we need to hold accountable. Where a lot of these commissioners in New York City, they receive their marching orders from the mayor. That's where they come from. I said, you know what? You can call for the commissioner to leave. You can just, hey, the commissioner can leave. You can call for whatever you want, but it doesn't matter because the mayor is still there. The mayor,
Absolutely.
everybody else, and they're going to get the same. They're going to receive the same marching orders. So
let me ask you a question.
They have to stand up. They have to stand up and stop pointing fingers. Stand up and fight.
Has anybody spoke to the mayor as far as this? I mean, because it's not mentioned, and I also want to go back also to when you talk about that corrections historically has been black and brown until recently, when I would take that when the private sector was not hiring as much, and people started taking the correction officer test. But historically, corrections in southern New York State exactly was a black and brown job, and we've never gotten the same exposure or the same respect as our brothers and sisters, police officers. And even though I give big shout out to like Norman Seabrook and other union presidents that really tried to get, but you're absolutely correct. And this right here is crazy. Now, has anyone talked to Mayor de Blasio about this, since he doesn't want to talk publicly about it?
I'm very positive that of course, the unions have had some dialogue.
Right.
It's been an ongoing thing. I honestly can't answer that question on behalf of them, but for them, if the union had to go file a lawsuit just for them to get them to provide this safety equipment to the members of the department, it pretty much tells you exactly what type of community.
Right. Now didn't New York City Cobra make an attempt to buy equipment for their officers?
They did, but people have. I think the people have to understand that. I mean, I could buy 100 masks for you, but you still need more.
Right.
So you can't solely rely on the union to make these purchases for you. The union shouldn't have to do that for you. That's the city.
Right.
That's the city's responsibility.
Right.
But you have to. You're gonna have people like, oh, what the union's doing? The union's not buying this. That's not their responsibility. Is not to do that. But they did, because if obviously no one else is doing it. So they had purchased the masks, the hand sanitizer. Some people was upset about the size of the hand sanitizer. But Damon, let me tell you something. If you receive hand sanitizer from anybody who's donating it to you or purchasing for you, they're not going to buy you a huge bottle of hand sanitizer. The standard size of a hand sanitizer that's given to anybody is 2 ounces.
Right.
Like sizes, it's 2 ounces.
Right.
So you're not going to get anything bigger than this. But how you stretch these hand sanitizers out, I mean, I'm not going to get off the subject, is use the hand sanitizer for work. If you use it for work, it'll last a long time. If you're using it for work and off duty, you're highly likely going to use all of it in one shot. Use it just for work. But the unions did do that, but they shouldn't have had to do that, but they were forced to do that because their membership was left without nothing.
Exactly.
That officer told that he reported to work and was only given 1 pair of gloves.
He's giving one pair of gloves. One pair of gloves.
One.
Yo, dude,
You
I ain't even gonna say how many gloves I grabbed throughout the shift.
You know,
And you gotta get one pair.
yeah,
You gotta be kidding me.
That one pair, you can't wear one pair of gloves for a whole tour.
No, you can't. It's impossible. It's impossible. It's impossible.
Your
I'm gonna.
mask, you may be able to get away with. Like, I mean, I have masks here. When I go, I use the same mask. If I switch up that mask today, I mean, I'll go through them quick. So I'll reuse the mask. Some of the health people out there have been forced to use their mask due to shortage.
Well, we're using our masks, and probably when I go back to work, I had the mask for maybe almost 2 weeks.
Let me read this text right here. Somebody just texted me.
2 weeks. Now, while are you reading the text, let me holler out some people that's in the room. Dwayne Van Norton, what's up? Danielle Lights. She says, Capers, what's up, brother? Brother Umar Abdullah. He said, Assalamu alaikum, my big brother in blue. Capers, great man. Casey Diamond says, because they don't care about us. Pat Barrow, she asks a question, and maybe you could repeat it. How many officers have died? She asked a question. She says, Regina Calabras says, hey, my brothers. Michael Rencher says, no way, you got to change the gloves after every use. Dwayne Van Norton says, this sounds like politically correction officers are being made expendable. AJ Woodson, my brother says, much respect. But Pat Barrow, she asks a question again. She
1 second.
said,
go ahead. Continue.
How many officers have died as a result of the virus? And what is the delay in filing a lawsuit? Hey, CC, what's happening? How you doing, CC?
Hey, I have a text message here that came through.
Hey, brother.
Says,
there you go. Yeah.
It says each tour a mask is given out, and every day. Masks are only good for 8 hours during that tour. If a use of force and spring occurs, a new mask must be given out. Still not enough masks to last.
Wow. I wanted to go down back to, so you could just repeat that. Pat Barrow, she has a question, and we can repeat that again, Vincent. How many officers died as a result of the virus, and what is the delay in filing the lawsuit?
I think, as far as the lawsuit is concerned, me personally, my opinion, I would leave that to the union. I'm pretty sure there's a whole bunch of law firms that's probably going to come about and say join in the class action lawsuit. I honestly don't see you getting anything out of it other than the principle that the lawsuit was filed. But me personally, I'm not going to step into that circle. I would leave that solely up to the unions to do.
Right.
I won't even advise you on that right there because right now we're still in the middle of this, but we all know what needs to be done once this thing comes down to, till we clear.
Right. There's some more questions. Let me go down. I'm going to read them out. Carmen Bonilla, she says, all prisons and jails need to protect both parties, staff and inmates, equally. Otherwise, it will be a disastrous result. Loss of life in the thousands. Just goes to show how much they care. Oh, wait, they don't. Shaking my head. One pair of gloves, one little sanitizer bottle is criminal and irresponsible. Elizabeth Diaz says, I understand if someone is giving you a gift, you can't complain, but this is a hazardous situation. My brother Michael Rencher, he says, WCDOC is not giving out extra masks. Brother, in the pen, we were told, Brother Rencher, if your mask is beyond use, if you could write a special, and they will give you another mask. I'm not sure. I will let you know, brother, when I go back to work, because my mask is needed to be exchanged. Um, and it says. Uh, Carmen says, again, gloves and masks are not meant to be reused. Come on. Um, and we are reusing shift after shift, even after being around COVID-19 problem people, inmate. Absolutely, absolutely, Brother Richard. And how many have died again? And how many officers have died again?
You have five correction officers, one non-uniform civilian, and a correction captain passed away the other day.
Wow. Wow, so 6.
And you have more out there that's sick right now.
Right. Yeah. So I wanted to post something, and for all everybody, I see there's a lot of people.
Hey, D.
Yes, sir.
I just got a request for if we can give a moment of silence to those who have perished from the from the New York City Department of Corrections. Rightfully so, we should do that. Can we do that?
Definitely. Well, a moment of silence to our brothers and sisters, correction officers who have fallen victim to the COVID-19. Quick moment of silence. All right. I wanted to post something. All right here. This is April 4th. I'm sorry, April 4th, 2020. This letter is from, and I want everybody that's watching, no matter what correction department that you're working at, this is a letter, and I will post it on my page after the show. This is a letter from the New York State Commission of Corrections, and what is very unique about this letter. Let me blow it up on my computer screen. What's very unique about this letter, it says that this is a guidance contains the recommendations of several topics irrelevant to institutions, including enhanced cleaning, disinfectant, hygiene practices, social distancing strategy, infection control, including recommended personal protective equipment, PPE, and potential alternatives during PPE shortage. Screening of incoming incarcerated individuals, potential alternatives doing PPE, individual staff and visitors, right? We are not doing any screening of officers when they come on the shift. We are not, and this is, and I've been told in many facilities, and we ain't even doing it in mine. And I'm not on here representing the Westchester County Department of Correction. I'm representing Blacks in Law Enforcement of America. But it would be common sense if we would give at least temperature checks when officers come on the shift each time to make sure, because unfortunately they are officers that are coming to work because maybe they don't have any time, or it's confusions between the union and the department, or do you have to use your own time because the governor said that you don't have to use your own time. So there's a lot of confusion in the craft about that, and officers still coming to work, but they're putting their fellow officers in danger. So the department has to check. And I still don't understand why the department hasn't, these departments, whether it's first responders, essential services, I do not understand why they have yet to just test the whole department and see who's infected and who's not infected, and then deal with those, because we're still. I mean, it's like we're playing whack-a-mole. It's nonstop, brother.
Hey, Damon. in Westchester, they're not checking the staff temperatures as they enter the facilities?
No, they're only checking the inmates.
Right, because what I understand down on Rikers, they are. I don't know. From what I understand, they are checking temperatures coming in and out of facilities. How often they do it, I don't know. It's like I don't go by hearsay. I go by word of mouth. But it's still a lot of inconsistency. So you're gonna have those who's gonna spew whatever just to hype things up, and you're gonna have those who come with the truth. But for what I understand, they are. Are they doing it? I don't know.
Well. Look, here's a letter from the New York State Commission of Correction. Nobody has any excuse in any correction facility in New York State not to be checking officers' temperature when they come in the building, because it says right here, April 4th, 2020, from the New York State Commission of Correction, Chairman Alan Riley, right? So this is what we need to be doing. And it doesn't make any sense, because a lot of people have family members that suffer from COPD, heart disease, and all these other diseases that make it easy, to catch COVID-19 and to die from, and to actually die from. And it's like nobody gives a damn, and it's really sad. Not to mention the fact that we don't get any extra pay. Ain't no hazardous pay for doing this stuff. We ain't getting no attaboy. We might get a little free food in the cafeteria, but free food ain't gonna help me if I'm dead. Free food ain't helping no officer if he's dead.
Right.
So I don't know, brother. So what's the next step, for the union there? I mean, I'm getting ready to send this letter to the union president and see if we could get temperature checked, because too many people. I mean, it's by the grace of God that I don't have it, because many of my coworkers on my shift has come down with it. So
I think that I mean, like I said, what's going on over in Westchester Corrections and what's happening over in New York City Corrections, and then what's going on, maybe we don't know what's happening over in Nassau, Suffolk, or Putnam in Orange County. We don't know what's going on with there. But you would think that there would have been some type of uniform response on how they overall deal with COVID inside the facilities, some type of uniformity, based on what's coming from Albany and what's coming from Washington, D.C. There has to be some form of uniformity, and obviously there isn't. Each agency have their own ways of dealing with it, and I think that had there been some uniformity, maybe sometimes another agency is doing a little bit more than what another agency is not, But at the end of the day, I mean, I guess we're making it up as we go along, I mean, I understand that this is the first time something like this has happened, It's like watching a movie, but you got to be more proactive, This is just crazy,
that's
I don't get it. We both sit up here and we scratch our heads and try to figure out, like, why,
absolutely. So you got
we're definitely not getting the same treatment as our other first responders. Definitely that, man.
No.
We demand the same humane treatment they're getting. We're demanding it. We're not asking for it. We're demanding it. It is what it is.
Right.
I know some people are afraid to stand up and speak about it and call it how you see it. Sometimes, like there's one chief, retired chief, always said, if you're afraid to stand up and speak for what's right, sit down. Don't go running scared when it gets hot. But we're out here on the forefront fighting for you. Those people that's in the back, speak up. Don't be afraid to stand in front of the camera and let it be known. There was an officer, I applaud her on it. She went live. Her name is Joan. She has lupus, and she had requested a transfer because they were allegedly transferring the positive inmates over to her area, and they didn't give it to her. So she went to the news station. She went to the media about it. That's what you call standing up. because it's your life. Your life matters. You know, it's easy. We
Yeah,
can.
yeah, yeah. So here's some comments. Um, are the officers being quarantined if an officer gets sick, and those who work with the sick officer? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I've had at least four officers test positive on my shift, and I'm still going to work because I don't have any symptoms, right? But we already know that you don't have to have symptoms to be a carrier. But they say, well, you could get tested if you want to. Well, why don't they just test the department? Why don't they test the whole shift? This is the problem that we're having. This is the problem that we're having.
And
Um,
not to mention, they have a huge parking lot over there. You can set up a testing center.
exactly,
You can set one up there. Why not?
exactly, exactly. Pat, if you have your own attorney, will it be a conflict of interest of the union? Well, I'm always have been an advocate, Pat. I have always been an advocate of getting your own attorney anyway, even if the union attorney wants to help. Unfortunately, I have no confidence in our union attorney at all. And our union attorneys is their union attorneys in New York City, but I have no confidence in them. Whether it's New York City, you know, that's their game. But as far as Westchester County, I have no confidence in our union attorney, and I recommend that anybody get their own. There's too much politics going on. Get your own attorney. Um,
I just received a text. It says, to all unions from I guess it's Office of Labor Relations, everyone will be tested starting this afternoon. I don't know how true that is, but that's what I've just received on a text.
well, that's good. I mean, we need to do the same thing. WDOC is all over the place. More than wardens are sick out, so the place is being run by
Send us that document so we can see it. If you got the document, send it to us.
Yeah, I'll send that to you.
Not the one that with the text I just got from Labor Relations. Everyone will be
Okay.
starting this afternoon. If you got something, send it to us so we can see it. Send it to us.
Tina Charles says it's a shame the officers and inmates should be provided for and checked as both are in this together. Absolutely. I think it shouldn't be, a lot of times when municipalities and government, it becomes a money issue. But right now, it shouldn't be a money issue. It's a safety issue because we have to go out in the community and here's a Anderson. Lena Anderson Lee says, "Are people being released? Can you contribute to the list of people who could probably be okay on the street?" Good question. You want to take that one first?
Now I gotta absorb that one. Read that out one more time.
All right. Are the people being released, meaning the inmates, can you contribute to the list of people who could probably be okay in the street?
I don't have an answer for that. I don't know.
Well, look, I have always been someone who spoke about criminal justice reform, whether it's police corrections or wherever, because absolutely all these institutions was based on explicit bias. We get that, but I am not in agreement with releasing inmates without following some type of protocol. Number one, you got to check with those families and see if they have a home to return to. That's number one, because we know a lot of guys are homeless.
It should be tested also before they.
Exactly. How are you releasing inmates and you're not testing them, right? So, and where are they going? What jobs are they having? Nobody has a job right now. All the jobs are closed. So what are they going to do? Right. What are you releasing them to do? Especially if you have you checked with the family if they even want them back? So we got to, these questions need to be asked before you drop people off in communities of color that's already hit hard by this virus. And then you're just adding another mouth to feed to the baby mama who got to take care of 3 kids. Now you done dropped him off at the doorstep. Now it's another mouth to feed. Another mouth to feed. So we have to look at it. I think it should be a case-by-case basis if you're going to let an inmate out. You just don't drop them. You just don't just do a body drop in the poor Black and brown communities, because that's what they're doing. And people might want to disagree with me, but you know, that's the way I feel.
I think that each county is handling their own scenarios different when it comes to releasing anyone from the population. How they're going about it, I don't know. Last time I heard, New York City was putting them up in hotels, taking really good care of them. Better than man coming to work, you know.
Right. Lena also asked, do they take recommendations from you, strategies for safety? Lena, you already know that answer. as far as Westchester County. Let me see what else. I respect Tina Charles says, I respect this forum. Don't be afraid to speak your truth. Scared folks don't get the attention needed. Divine Lipscomb says that's dangerous for the officers and the incarcerated population. Here's a coordinate with the other counties and state and see what info they have to share and tell us what we can do to help. I will share this video. Thank you.
Hey, I'm curious, where are our other brothers and sisters with these other agencies that can share information with us, what they're doing over in their agencies as far as the county's concerned?
Right.
They seem to be left out. I want to know what they're doing up in state, what they're doing out in Nassau or Suffolk. I want to know what's happening over there. I mean, where are people at that's connected to our organization that can let us know what they're doing? Because maybe there's something that how they dealt with the situation we could deploy as well. But right now, our fight is with the city.
Right.
We're gonna respond one way or the other. You know?
Right. Brother Clyde Freeman, he said there is no protocol for officers who's tested positive to come back to work.
That's for the city or
Westchester County. One reason one inmate is left because he is being deported. He is sick too. Yeah, very irresponsible of CCJ. Okay. Okay, Pat. You can inbox me. Don't forget, before this bail reform, we was just beginning, so the big release was already in progress. Yeah. Well, I mean, bail reform, like I said, I am for a lot of things, but it has to be thought through. It just can't be symbolism for any politician to get votes. It has to be substance. And we have to have programs in the Black and brown communities. You just can't let people out and have nothing for them to do. That doesn't make any sense.
All they did was create recidivism.
Exactly.
That's all they did. They created.
Exactly. If you're going to let them out, make sure that they will go get their GED. And I'll be honest with you. I told the county exec, there's more programs for them in jail than it is in the Black community. So if you're going to keep them out of jail, but you don't put the programs you have so they could go to college, they could get their GED, they could get some type of vocational training, and they could do that, then you're just going to put them back in jail.
And they should have programs before he did all of this. should have had the programs in place.
Elizabeth Diaz said, listen, stick to New York City correction officers. They are in danger and nobody cares.
That's a fact. They are in danger. It's a sad situation. And I'm going to keep saying the one time that this agency in the city had the opportunity to stand up and do the right thing, and they failed. It's a sad fight, you know.
Right. So Divine Lipscomb, he asked a question. He says, well, what are they doing inside? Like I said, they're I can only speak on the facility I work at. They have a lot of programs, right? So if you're going to release somebody in this atmosphere, and let's understand, we're not just releasing somebody where things are normal. We're releasing somebody where everything is closed. So if they want to get a job at Home Depot, well, Home Depot's open, but if Home Depot ain't gonna hire them, where actually are they going? A supermarket, right? All the malls are closed. All the movie theaters are closed. So where are they going to get any type of job? So there are some inmates that are working in the jail and sending money home so they can help pay the bills. And that's a fact. That's a fact. So, I mean, we have to do it correctly, because if we're just going to put somebody out and he can't get a job, he don't have no place to go, 6 or 7 months, he's going to commit another crime, or within a month. Unfortunately, but it's true. I know brothers and sisters that have been locked up, and when they get out, and if they don't get that proper support they needed, they're coming back in jail. Because we don't have the actual programs that's needed. We just talk. But those that empower not put the program together, so these brothers and sisters come out of jail and get the necessary help, get the necessary mental help, because some of them have mental issues, get the necessary training so they could have a job, necessary job placement, necessary assistance so they could get a place to live. All these things have to be in place. And if most of the government is shut down, how are they going to get those things when you let them out? It ain't going to happen. Then they're going to go and break in a car or something, or rob somebody, and they'll be back in jail. But it sounds good when you did it. You sounds good and you did it. And then they come back to our communities. They come back to the black and brown community. They don't go into the rich communities. All right, I got all hot.
You set the flames over here.
We are all in danger. We go to work every day. Let me see. Elizabeth Diaz. Oh, wait a minute. I'm trying to click these. Here we go. Why are they concerned about the inmates and not the correction officers who keep in our city safe? Dwayne Van Norton says they are putting these inmates out on the street without a plan for them, which will create havoc on the streets.
Well, look, they put most of the guys out who's was on Rikers Island, who are now hanging out in the subways and riding the trains. That's
crazy. See, that's crazy. That's crazy.
You don't have no place to go, man.
Yes. Dwayne, you're 100%. We can create and contribute to the recidivism rates. Absolutely. Absolutely. But, I think everybody that's listening, no matter where you live at, call whoever's in charge, call your elected officials and ask them what the hell is going on in the jails. No matter if you live in New York City, Suffolk County, Westchester County, Orange County, any place that you live, call and ask what is going on in the jail facilities. And I will admit, our conditions are a lot better. We have inmates are wearing masks. Officers are wearing masks, right? We still need to get the department tested. Go ahead.
But you know, and I just realized something. I'm going to back up. Suffolk County may be okay, and you know why? Because they have a good brother out there running the show, Dr. Errol Toulon. He's running the show out there. So, you know, he's always been ahead of his time and ahead of his game. So I can almost pretty much guarantee that Suffolk County has definitely done the right thing. I think in Nassau County, I don't think Vera's not. She's not in charge out there anymore, right? She's not the sheriff.
No, she left. She left.
Plus, she's gone. So I think they now have Dizarenza, who used to be with City Corrections. You know, he came from Connecticut, so he's out in Nassau now, holding that seat. But I'm pretty positive out in Suffolk County, because you got Toulon out there, so I'm not going to take anything away from him, because I know how he gives it up and how he works. You know, New York City Corrections is one of those agencies where, and I'm going to say it, they have no value in someone who have intellect, someone who's smart. You know, you're a threat to
Hey, that's everywhere in civil service. What are you talking about?
No, but I'm saying it's just like it's just so sad that a lot of the good people that was doing the right thing in corrections was forced out the door and went someplace else and made those agencies better, done bigger things, you know. But
listen, man,
we still dealing with this corona, this COVID right now, you know, and it's big.
No, it's big, and you know what, and we need to look at more of the humanity to it, you know, and I do understand everything is new, but we have to be proactive. You know, we have to be proactive. So officers and inmates, you know, especially the officers, man. You know, I mean, it's if you don't take care of the officers, you can't take care of the inmates, because we're the one that take care of the inmates. How you not going to do that? At the end of the day, we the mommy and daddy in there. And we know, just like a family, if mommy and daddy ain't got it right, the children ain't got it right. So if you ain't allowing mommy and daddy to do what they need to do to take care of the children's going to suffer too. It's simple as that. You know, and I really don't understand. But yeah, there's a lot of intelligent brothers and sisters that's in there that's undervalued in all departments. You know, unfortunately, it just takes a lucky Saturday to roll up the ranks.
I just got a text. It says Suffolk County has its issues. No talks as of yet about letting inmates out. And I have another. State corrections is ordering people recovering from coronavirus back to work. Where is the logic in that?
Wow. Divine Lipscomb says, I'm going to read what he said. I can't get it all up on the screen. It says, DOJ report says 75% of individuals released will reoffend within 9 years of being home. The other 25 stand to stay home through family support, community support, employment opportunity, and access to educational program. In the COVID-19 state, we aren't allowed to continue our education program or workforce development. You're absolutely right, and that is the big problem when you do a body drop in our communities, because those systems to assist is shut down right now. You know, I mean, it's even hard when those systems was up and running. The bureaucracy that's inside the system, so someone can become a better person and contribute to their community. But when that system is totally shut down, how are you going to do that? I don't understand. But Carmen Belina says, well, what a travesty. Is there, brother, is there anything else you want to talk about? We got 10 minutes.
Well, I got retired captain wants to me. Why so much talk about the crooks? Why so much talk about these crooks? What about the safety of the staff? and we agree with you 110%.
No, we do agree, but it was a question about the releasing of the inmates, and I think we needed to make that point that politicians make those decisions as correction officers, as law enforcement professionals. Not that we don't. Everybody should have their day, but it was at this time it wasn't a good decision to have a progressive agenda on releasing inmates. And I think that's a conversation that should be had because um, my wife is a detective, and she told me straight up with all this, domestic violence cases is on the rise, right? There's a lot of calls being made because families are arguing and not getting together. So when you add another mouth to feed, unfortunately, you might get a domestic violence case. And so it's about public safety and correctional. We should be the first one to bring it to the elected officials' attention that this is not a good idea. This is not a good idea. So and that's to relieve them of treating us the right way, right? So they have less inmates. They think they don't have to treat us the right way, but that's not the case because now they're causing two problems.
Yeah, I just got something from Rodney McQueen. He said we have to take a stand. I mean, unfortunately, with the social distancing, I mean, hell, we came and hold an adequate press conference with about 20, 30 people standing behind us right now.
Right.
But that's something we definitely have to do. I mean, we can easily stay on social media and keep talking about it. We definitely have to do something about it. Hold all these people in these public offices accountable, and we have to hold our departments accountable. And it's people that we like, we have to hold them accountable too, because right about now, where's the leadership?
Right. Here's another question. Right. Here's another question.
And I understand some may even be out, some may even be out ill, and that's okay and fine because, I mean, there's a lot of people out sick, but the leadership of this city has definitely let us down, and we're no longer. Listen, it's been a while before since the Guardians came out and started slaying them, but you know what? Like I told Charlie the other day, I was like, listen. All gloves off. I think we've been quiet for a minute now,
Right.
And we're gonna take it back to the days of when the Guardians was out there with Eric Adams and the rest of these guys, and we just let it go. Listen, if you can't do the job, get out. It's time for you to go. That's just the way it is. And unfortunately, I'm gonna be that guy standing out there. We're coming deep. We're coming strong.
Hey man, you my brother, man. I'm standing right next to you. You know how that go, and that's how we do. I mean, it's not personal.
Business.
It's business, and we want the best for the people that we work with, for our families, and we want to do our job and keeping our facility safe and secure. CC Sonberg she has another question. She said, "What is happening to the positive inmates when they're discharged?"
Good question.
Good question. We don't know. And CC, I know you're the NAACP up there in Peekskill, and I think y'all should reach out to the county exec's office and ask the question because I don't know. I can't tell you, and maybe they could tell you. I don't know, and I don't know, and that's something I'm not even going to speak on because I don't know. But right, she said, "Don't talk about it. Be about it. Be safe in all you do. My blessings to all worldwide. If you're sick, bang in. Absolutely. If you do not feel good, do not bring your ass to work. Do not do not do."
So, AD, you still reading?
Yeah. Go ahead. What you gonna say?
So obviously, there still seemed to be an issue with the PPE. You know, I mean, we have frontline supervisors questioning what are they doing about the PPE. I mean,
how are they asking you? I mean, they should know if they're a supervisor.
well, that's what I'm trying to tell you. That's the issue because
How we gonna know?
and that's what I'm saying. You know, if the frontline supervisors aren't getting it, it pretty much telling you that the officers aren't getting it. They're not getting it. Maybe they're getting it sporadically or through the back door, but obviously they're not getting it.
Right.
You know, and if they are getting it, it's not sufficient.
Carmen says both of you gentlemen have a positive attitude and demeanor. That does help. Fearing anger and anxiety lowers the immune system. Thank you. Absolutely. And I take a lot of herbs and I eat right, so I could keep my immune system boosted. And I socially distance myself from ignorant fucking people. So I've been socially distancing myself before it was cool.
Yo, So we have here was the people who tested positive are being sent back to work. I have a staff member who tested positive and she's back to work, cleared by HMD. HMD should be disbanded and overhauled. They care nothing about the correctional staff in DOC. They do not care. I don't think half those doctors could find a regular job in a good hospital, you know. But that's something that needs to be done. They need to disband that unit and overhaul. Get real doctors in there, real people who care, humans. Bring humans up in there.
Right. Here's a state. No, in NC and other southern states are releasing them to hospitals. My daughter lives in Cleveland County, North Carolina. It's a horrific mess. And then Andrea Logan asks, she has a question. Why can't the National Guard come in and take over? Most of them are correction anyway, and they are already fully equipped with PPE. I don't know if they could do that within a jail facility. That's something that will be the call of the governor. I'm not sure.
We're gonna
have Terry Watson, my brother, says ignorant people are hazardous to your health. CC Somers says bottom line, get the union to fight for PPE and temp checks for all entering. Yes, I'll be forwarding this over to the union president, and we can only see what happens. And Elizabeth Diaz, entire Timers Islands, please bang in. Bang in. Don't go to work if you're sick. And that's good.
I'm not going to tell you to do that.
I'm not. Listen. I tell you straight up. If you're not,
don't come to work.
Yeah, don't come to work because because of the fact that you're putting other officers in danger.
Right. But just remember, I don't know how they give it up in Westchester, but I know down in the city, they try to serve us the business, So
yo, they serve the business is not.
I tell everybody, listen, if you go out sick, man, make sure you get your documentation. We already know that our department, the only thing they good with is discipline. They never finish anything they start. They're only good with discipline. But get your documentation. If a crook can beat this department, you can beat them too. Come on, get your documentation. And for the for those the newer officers out there, what I'm trying to tell people, listen, a lot of us I mean, I'm retired, but you have those veteran officers there. Don't give these guys any negative advice that's going to cost them their job. You know, show them the right way. Get the documentation, and if you sick, call that number and go get tested. Don't wait for the department's not going to send you. Call that number and go get tested.
Right.
The
Right.
worst part is to feel sick or think you may be coming up with something, go get tested tomorrow, and you show up positive. And I only spoke to about 10 or more people in this pad right here that have reported for work, been given one set of orders, went and got tested. By Friday, the results came back positive. So just imagine how many. It's that ping pong ball effect, man.
Exactly. Exactly. We definitely we definitely have to be on it. But
They said don't fall for the banana in the tailpipe trip.
no. I mean, we have to think safety too, man. I mean, some of these officers are coming to work knowing that they were around other people that was positive, and they're coming to work, and then, I mean, come on, man. We have to we have to show some responsibility. Yo, you come near me coughing, I'm spraying you with a whole can of Lysol until you get away, and I might punch you in the face. Straight up, it's just silly because I'm not trying to get sick. I'm not trying to bring that home to my family. Absolutely not. If I take the precautions, if I go out in public, I take all the precautions. If I'm not out here in nobody's face and I'm coming straight home because I want to come back to work, I think everybody else should take that responsibility. I mean, we understand that the union has a role to do, right? The government has a role to do, but you have to have some own goddamn responsibility yourself. I'm talking to all officers, no matter where they work at. You have to have some own responsibility coming to yourself. You come to work yakking and boogers coming down your nose and all this stuff. Why? It's not. It's just, come on, take some responsibility yourself, because the reality is this: we're the ones that brought it in the facility, right? That's the reality. We're the ones that brought it in the facility. So we're asking protection from our own coworkers, but they're not even taking the simple stuff. I mean, come on. I mean, it's 2020, and we got to talk about being clean. That shit is crazy, bro. It's crazy. It says, question: if we are doing social distance, then why are they 50 inmates still in the housing area? That's not happening up where we are. So I guess that's to you.
AD, did you see this one here? It says some fools are claiming HIPAA when asked if they tested positive. Selfish behavior on their part, brother. If you tested positive, would you not want your coworker to know that you should? First of all, if you tested positive, you shouldn't even be out the house. If you tested positive, you shouldn't even be showing up to work. Period.
Right.
But I mean, using HIPAA, I mean, that's your business. You have the right to do that. But to expose somebody else knowingly that you positive, you leave a dangerous, contagious path. Period. It's a contagious path that you leave behind you. I went and got tested. If my test came back positive, I would have still posted it. When it came back negative, I posted it. You don't have to put your business on social media, and you shouldn't. But at the same time, if you know you positive, you shouldn't be showing up for work. It is what it is.
No, right. And they shouldn't. So, but look, I go to work, and you know how I know people tested positive? Because I don't see them no goddamn more. That's how I know your ass tested positive. I don't see you no more. I say, yo, what happened to so and so? Well, he's out for 14 days. Well, I already know what you. They ain't got to tell me you tested positive, because if I don't see you no more and you're not on vacation and it's sick by your name, it's common sense. It's common sense. So I don't even have to have no HIPAA law. I just have common sense to know if it's sick by your name after a couple of days, most likely you got it.
Well, it says from a retired deputy warden, and he's pretty right. He says once the governor announced a public health emergency, the city and the department has an obligation to their correctional staff. It's true.
Absolutely.
You know?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
But he also say, listen, employees in general are expendable. Buy your own damn PPE. That's what he said.
Well, I mean, if they would look, see, and this is another thing. Like, if people will be, I think the department will allow you, but people will come in with Freddy Krueger masks on the PPEs and all type of dumb shit instead of just getting a black one. Just getting a black mask or something like this. They'll do all type of dumb shit, right?
Yo, we are,
oh man, like really, we're professional, huh?
We our own enemy too, man.
All the time.
We got some winners amongst us, man. It's just it's a shame because for every good thing that we do, it's always one that's going to jack it up and screw it up.
And the whole department got to pay for that one stupid motherfucker. The whole department pays for that one stupid asshole.
Yes,
we all got it, man. Listen, look, I tell people all the time. You don't need a GED to get the job. Some of those pencils ain't sharp in that pack. You know what I'm saying? So we got to deal with those that, but we got to police ourselves. I mean, we have to check ourselves. And I think we don't do that enough. We definitely don't do that enough. We make good money. So what's the problem? Why you got to wear a stupid mask? Just get a regular black mask and come to work. But they have all type of stuff.
Well, what I'm asking is, I'm asking for, I don't care what rank you are, man. This is the time right now to do the right thing. Do the right thing. If they have a mask, I mean, it's protecting you too. I mean, you tell me to take my mask off, I'm definitely coughing on you, straight up. But do the right thing. I don't care what rank you are, man. Take care of your officers. The deps take care of your captains. Deputy wardens take care of your dep. And we may not have control. I mean, there's some good bosses out there, some good leadership, and you have some bad ones. The yes men. But this is your time to step up and do the right thing. And to the officers out there, man, listen, this is your opportunity to step up to the plate too. You can't ask for them to acknowledge you as a first responder. You want to carry out the duties. Do the right thing. There's people that stuck at work doing doing doubles, 4 out of 4. If you've overcome whatever illnesses related to COVID, come back to work so these people can go home. I mean, I get it. Nobody wants to get sick all over again. But if you fully healed and you're feeling fine, come back to work. For those people that the doctors are telling you to come back to work and you still sick, them doctors can go to hell. You come first. Make sure you're right so you don't come back to work and expose anybody else. God help. Or even get re-exposed and bring it back to your family. Take care of you first, but do the right thing. Make sure you get your documentation because they're going to, after all this smoke clear, the bullshit is going to come right behind it. You should already know. And down, like I said, with this down in the city, they're good with one thing, discipline. But if you got your documentation, you should be all right. But we have a fight after all of this is over.
Yes, absolutely. Well, with that said, I would like to say all conversations on this show is discussed under public domain and understanding that the public, we work for the public as officers. We do not, this show does not represent any municipality, city government, or any department. This is Blacks in Law Enforcement of America, a national organization of Black law enforcement professionals. And this is we speaking on, and that Thank you for everybody that's been listening. Check us out on Facebook, Blacks in Law Enforcement of America. Check out our website, blea.org, and like our page and go on the website and check out the website. Brother Capers, man, give the information in your organization and how they can get in touch with you.
Yeah, you can. You have any questions, any advice, suggestions, whatever you have, send them to NYC CGA. No, my bad. That's the website. Send your emails to contact@nyccga.org. Anything that you have that you want to see that you feel that this organization needs to be doing, or what you like to see done, send your emails and your requests to contact@nyccga.org. And I'm not, if you have any, if you want to keep it off the net, you can reach me on my cell phone as well. I don't have a problem putting my phone number out there. It's 347-232-4570. And the email to the Guardians is contact@nyccga.org. And I also want to give a special shout out to Sammy Ravello, who's tuned in watching us.
Yo, what's up, Sammy? Hey, man. Did Sammy call you? Yeah, he's supposed to call you so we can have a meeting, man. He ain't even call you.
No, I speak to Sammy.
Sammy, you ain't called him yet.
I think that was the last one.
Melvina Freeman said, "I'm not in law enforcement. It was nice listening to you." Thank you, Melvina. Thank you for enjoying the show and enjoying the conversation. And on that note, we're gonna be out of here.
That power is merely an attempt of equality of dignity, an equality of character, an equality of recognition by non-blacks of our negritude. Blood power means the saving grace of our United States. United States no longer is an isolated nation. We're living in a world in which the United States and all of Anglo-Saxon society is in a definite minority. The votes of the black and brown people in the United Nations could turn the United States foreign